Hi, this is Kim Meltzer. I'm your Clinton Township Clerk, and I'm really excited today to be at the Wolverine Harley Davidson store located in Clinton Township on Gratiot. I've got some pretty amazing people sitting next to me, and I want to tell you a little bit about them. This is going to be an exciting show, so I hope you listen carefully because these folks have done some really great things to support our military men and women and their families, and we're going to talk to them, learn a little bit about what they've done, and maybe how you can get involved as well. So I'd like to start out with talking to Frank Blowers here. He is the director here, or the manager, I should say, of the Wolverine store.
Community Relations Manager.
Okay, can you tell us, I know a lot of people out there probably already do know what Wolverine has done to support military families, but why don't you tell us some of the events that you have going on throughout the year and what other people can do to get involved?
Well, our biggest event when it comes to veterans is the Ride for Freedom that we do every year in June, and that is a ride that raises money, and the proceeds from that ride go to various veterans organizations. This past year, we supported the Vets Returning Home, which is a transition home in Roseville for homeless veterans, to be sure that they're taken care of, and at the same time they get trained and they end up in jobs and they get back on their own and be productive in society. The other area that we donated money to was the Veterans Hospital in Detroit, and we donated to the Recreation Fund so that those individuals who are hospital bound can get out of the hospital on a trip to a ball game, trip down the river, to various functions that take place throughout the area that they can get to, and there's money there to help them get out of the hospital. That is our biggest event of the year when it comes to supporting our veterans. We have a number of other things that we do. We bring the vets down here to the dealership once a year. We send about 100 motorcycles down to the VA hospital, and we escort the hospital bus down here, and we spend the day with them and feed them and make sure that they're having a good time and that they get out of the hospital. Most of those, in fact all of those, are wheelchair bound. And we like to get them out and get them some recreation. We also take a ride down there once a year. And in order to ride in that ride, you have to bring personal items: underwear, socks, toothpaste, soap, shampoo, deodorant, the things that they need while they're down there in the hospital. That's what led us to getting involved with Elizabeth, or as we call her here, Cookie, and helping her to have a place to take care of the work that she does for our veterans.
Now, Frank, you can't steal the show from me here. I actually, though, before we get on to Cookie and Elizabeth Popovich, I do want to ask you to kind of maybe explain to the folks and the viewers how they might be able to get involved with, you said they can drop off clothes. Do they do it here? Can they bring them here? Or do you have a specific location for them to support our troops?
To support our troops, if you have clothing or any items that they could use, you could either bring them here to Wolverine Harley Davidson and just ask for me, Frank Blowers, or you can take those clothes down to the Vets Returning Home, which is previously the Red Cross building at 11 Mile and Gratiot in Roseville.
Wonderful. Well, you guys are doing so much amazing things that's really making a difference for our veterans as they come home, as they need that transition, they need that help. A lot of folks don't realize that, the war is different now than it was in previous years, and you learn, I'm sure, as each war progresses, what our military men and the families that are left at home, too, to sacrifice what they've sacrificed and what they need to help them get back to normal. So we really thank you for being aware, learning more and more about that and what their needs are. So thank you so very much. Is there anything else that you guys want to talk about that
you do? Thank you. We appreciate that. And one of the other things that is available to our veterans at the Vets Returning Home is a connection that can be made through the home to help the veterans get whatever benefits that they might have coming to them. There's an individual who will help them figure out if indeed they have benefits coming and start that process for them in order for them to receive the benefits that they earned while they served this country.
Right. You know what? There's been a lot of talk about the fact that there are so many opportunities out there for veterans in terms of benefits that they don't realize are there for them. So this is critical that you're working with them to educate them on that. And the other part you said, too, is you also work with Michigan Works to help them get back in work into getting jobs and working here in Southeast Michigan. How is that going?
That's going very well. While they're in the transition home, there is a computer bank in the home, and they can learn on the computer different job skills, different job opportunities, and that works in conjunction with the Michigan Works right here in Macomb County. And most of them that have gone through that home now have jobs and are on their own in their own homes or apartments and contributing again to society.
That's great. Thank you so much. And this gives us an opportunity now to talk about what you started to bring up, and that is a girl that's pretty amazing. Her name is Elizabeth Popovich, but she goes by a special name called Cookie. And Frank, you gave her that name?
I did. I was tired of saying Popovich or Elizabeth. So one day, and based on what she's doing for our veterans, I thought Cookie would be a great nickname for her.
I think that's great. But so the viewers can know why that's a great nickname for you, why don't you tell us, what are you doing to help our military families and men and women that are overseas? What do you do? And you have a nice vest on. Tell us about the organization you're associated with.
So for the last 5 or 6 years, it's been a special project of mine to go around to businesses and ask if they would like to make a donation to help send Girl Scout cookies to our military. This is my 6th year doing it, and it started when I was a daisy, and this was the first year that they were doing to our military. They would usually do like food pantries or homeless shelters, but this is the first time that they were sending Girl Scout cookies to our military. So at the cookie booth, I would be the last one to say, you have the people I would say like, no, I'm a diabetic, I'm on a diet, my granddaughter sells them. So I would kind of say, well, if you don't want any, would you like to send some to our military? And they would stop, and that would grab their attention, and I could kind of explain the program a little bit more. And then the next year, I went around to businesses that my dad knew, our family knew. And then the next year, I made up a flyer, and I went around to local strip malls and like the businesses that donated the year before, because they really liked that idea. It's a nice way to support our military, to know that somebody still does care about them back home. And then it kind of just snowballed to where I am now.
Well, that's awesome. You are really skilled already at age 13 in marketing, huh? Very good. I think that's amazing that you utilize this opportunity with the Girl Scouts and just what the Girl Scouts does for our community in terms of teaching women to be great leaders. And you are a great example of a great leader here in Southeast Michigan and Clinton Township, Macomb County. We love the work you've done. You've been recognized by different media. You have come to our board. We've sent out a resolution supporting you and letting the folks know exactly what you're doing. Tell us a little bit about how, you've not really gone out to the media. They've come to you, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
So like for the last few years, I've had big donation events. Like at Wolverine, I would do a big Valentine's Day event, and Fox 2 the last few years did a story kind of just promoting it to try to get people out here, and I've had people waiting in the parking lot when I got here. I saw you on the news, here's $50. I had just recently had a big donation event, and Channel 7 did a big event, a big story on it. So the media really does help. So
But it's great that you have the courage to get in front of the camera. I know that can be a little intimidating. I feel the same way. But that takes a lot of courage. It shows great leadership on your part. And I'm really glad that you've capitalized on this great idea of utilizing what the Girl Scouts can offer our military troops and our the families there. How many boxes of cookies have you sold so far?
So for doing this program, I've raised over $40,000 for it. Last year, I raised over $18,000. So I'm just trying to, for my goal this year is kind of not really a set goal, but just to send as much as I can.
Okay, very good. Do you find that you get the same people that have supported you in the past to want to support you as well in the future?
Yes, I've had businesses that say, well, here's my business card. When you do this again, send me an email, I'll write you another check. We kept a mailing list of people that donated in the past, and we send them a letter each year, and they usually donate back. So we have people in the fall that say, when are you starting up again? I would like to make a donation. So it's the same people, and it grows every year. So
Wonderful. So tell me a little bit about what motivates you to do this. Why did you pick this particular opportunity? Why not do something else? What about the hiking and the camping and that part of Girl Scouts that's also very prominent? But why this? And how do you see yourself as a mentor?
I do the camps and stuff, but what motivates me to do this specific program is the awards are nice, getting the awards, but it's really meeting the soldiers and the veterans and telling them how much it means to them to get a little taste from home. And I've met two former Marines came up to me at a cookie booth when I was a brownie and say, I got your cookies, thank you for doing this, and peeled 250s each off and gave me some. So it's really just meeting them and them telling me, this gave me hope to continue doing, fighting for our country, that somebody still does care back home.
Yeah, I can imagine it's got to be very rewarding for you, and it's certainly inspiring for all of us that have met you, have seen the work that you've done, and at such a young age, you keep moving forward. I got to say something wonderful about your mom and dad, though. They are very supportive as well. They're here, not on camera, but they are here, and they're very big supporters of you as well, and talking about your endeavors and spreading that news and being very like I said, very supportive. Do you want to say anything to them?
I would just like to thank them for just kind of being there for me, helping me out, talking me through, okay, this is, you can do it, just kind of motivating me to continue what I'm doing.
Yeah, you're a very lucky girl. You've got some great parents as well, but it all works together. How can the people out there, do you want to talk to them about how they might want to get in touch with you? Is there a way to? Do they just contact the Girl Scouts? How can they help you be more successful in getting more cookies to our troops?
So I have a Facebook page, so you can visit that. That has more information about what I do. And I also have a post office box that, you can send a check to. The address is on my Facebook page. If you, have any questions, my email is also on there. So
Cookie, why don't you explain to the viewers exactly how this process works? Like when they make their donation to you, how do the cookies get to the military personnel there?
So it's a Girl Scout program, and they have a nonprofit, which this year is Soldiers Angels, and they collect the money, the Girl Scouts, at the end of the year, and they tell the bakery, this is how many cookies we need baked. And then once the bakery is done, they ship it to the nonprofit, and the nonprofit distributes them everywhere. They say I've met some people that got them in Southridge, and because it's a nonprofit, 100% of your donation goes over to the program. So every $4 is a box of cookies in our soldiers' hands.
Do the soldiers know when those cookies are coming?
Well, the cookie season ends at the first week of April, so that's when the donations are tallied up. I don't know when they get shipped, but they'll get there. They
get there, and I'm sure you get some type of notice, or somebody may send you a letter letting you know that they've got the cookies, and they've really appreciated all that you've done for them.
Yeah, I've actually gotten emails, and one guy sent me, he was in Afghanistan, saying, we got Thin Mints, and, they were melted in the sleeve. They were just one big Thin Mint, so they put them in the freezer, and he took it out, and he said, even though it was melted, it was just like one popsicle of Thin Mints. It was the sweetest thing I've ever had.
Oh, that's awesome. See, they're smart over there. They can make things work. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about? Any special person that you met along the way that?
Well, I've met Frank, and Wolverine has helped me out a lot this year. Inviting me to come in. The people here are so nice. The employees are all supportive. The customers are really nice. So Wolverine has helped me out a lot.
This is a great relationship you've built then. And you know what? You came to me and you said, what can I do to help you? So it wasn't the other way around. You were reaching out to come up with different ideas, to get the word out, to build on what you've already built. And you did that even here in Wolverine, knowing maybe, or maybe not, you didn't, I don't know if you knew or not. Did you know that they were involved in doing so much support for veterans?
The first year that I came here, I came in cold with my flyer. I did not know that they were so big on military. I knew Harley was, like pro-military, but I didn't know they did so much for the veterans in our military. So when I met Mr. George, he cut me a check right there, and Frank and them invited me in to do a couple events. So.
And now we're here in their den, right? This is called the den for your
Wolverine Den.
customers, okay? And we're doing this show, so again, it's another opportunity to reach out. And Frank, I thank you so much for what you guys are doing and the ability to work in this community. And you've got a lot of support, so we thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much. As a veteran myself, I know how important it is when you're overseas and all of a sudden they call out your name when it's a mail call and you got a little package from home. What Cookie is doing here is just incredible. And as she said, she's met veterans who have told her that they were the recipients when they were overseas of what she's doing, and to know that in her own repertoire that she knows people now who have been benefit of what she's doing, and that it just can't get any better than that.
Well, I thank both of you for allowing us to learn a little bit more about the amazing things you're doing here in Clinton Township. For all of you that are listening, I hope this has inspired you. I hope you go to Cookie's Facebook page and see more about what she is doing and how you can get involved to support the military families and men and women overseas. Thank you.